Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Prime Time. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community? Good morning, Nigeria. It's another beautiful Thursday, and you're tuned into Ways Breakfast. I'm your host, Okikiola Taiwo Jalukon, and I'm here with the incredible ladies this morning to kick off your day with energy and excitement. Whether you're on your way to work, getting the kids ready for school, or simply enjoying a quiet moment with your tea or coffee, we are here and glad that you're here with us. Good morning, beautiful ladies.
Hello, God.
How do you guys feel that I'm here?
First of all, I'm trying to hold my laptop, but I'm glad to see you here.
I know. God's beauty, how you doing?
I'm beautiful.
I saw
How
that
are
you were
you?
sort of talking, excited. And I was like, this is another version of God's beauty again this morning, which is good.
You know, when there's like, gospel is like an onion bulb. Inside that, if you're another, if you're the
They say you
inside.
be onion.
She's always unboxing.
She's always
She's
unboxing.
always unboxing. But how are you guys
Interesting.
excited that it's going to be the weekend in a few days?
The person that should be excited, see her now.
Oh,
Mira
I
should be very
mean,
excited.
everybody should be excited about the weekend. It's time to
Nah.
rest.
You know, it's not like
I
this.
used to
not
feel
really
like
rest.
people that are not excited, that don't have happy homes, maybe.
Can you imagine this girl?
That's very deep. Oh. That's very deep.
Well, I love that.
Archie, what about you? How are you feeling?
I
How
feel
you feeling?
good and I feel okay. I don't have anything major coming up, so my excitement level is still on average. Do you get? Maybe if
there.
something extra comes up, of course, people are going to see because I can't hide the excitement in this life. I'm gonna show it. People are gonna know that something's
girl.
happening. Yeah, but till then, let's just remain calm.
That's so beautiful. So this morning we are all excited and we're here for you. We've got a packed show for you today, and you won't want to miss it. But before we dive into today's discussions, make sure you have subscribed to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, and follow us on all our social media platforms. Invite your friends to join us as we talk about the issues that matter. We go on a break right now, and we'll be back with the headlines across the globe. Welcome back to Ways Breakfast. Before we dive into our main discussion, let's catch up on the top headlines making waves across the world this Thursday morning. We've got the latest stories for you from The Punch, The Vanguard, The Guardian, and The New York Times. Taking you through the Vanguard newspaper. There's so many headlines this morning, but I'm just going to do my best to not get angry. So on the Vanguard newspaper, the headline reads, Tinubu fires 6 ministers
hires 7 new ones in cabinet rejig. And below that, we have mixed reactions as FG scraps Niger Delta reactions. He said it was renamed, not scrapped, says federal government. We won't allow it. Federal government using South-South money to develop other commissions, says the clerk. Oil communities hail Tinubu's decision. And he also says it's ill-informed, Niger Delta activist Kennedy says. Below that, we also have Edo APC Transition Committee raising false alarm over documents, says government. Federal government gives Julius Berger 7-day ultimatum over Abuja Kaduna Road project. And the last but not the least story I'm going to take here, Tinubu scraps Sports Ministry, says appoints DICO NSC chairman. I don't know which one to talk about here because there's so many things about Tinubu. It's like that's the only thing that we hear these days. No good news that somebody got a degree in first or in WAEC or anything like that. But let me talk about Tinubu's ministers. That's like the latest story that happened, I think yesterday or day before yesterday. How long are we going to have fire 6, employ 7? Like we should have lesser numbers, not more numbers. It's all right that you scrap certain ministries, but putting more people and creating more ministries, like you're merging ministries, but you're still bringing more people. And then if you know that ministers earn like a lot of money, Nigeria is in debt. So why do we need more people? And when we create ministries like that, it's not like they go to work like immediately. You still have to put them, give them orientation, seminar, and all those things. And to tell you that while they are doing that, they are still going to pay them for all those waka. They'll still pay them for travel costs, all those and all of that before they now install them as ministers. So how long are we going to have this whole idea of we're scrapping ministries just for the good of Nigeria, and we're still employing ministers, or we're still appointing ministers again more than the ministers that we have sacked? It's giving me I don't like you and that's why I'm sacking you vibe. So I'm bringing.
That's the thing. I mean, before you wake up one morning and say, sorry, I dragged that from you, because it was like I dragged it from you. Before you wake up one morning and say, okay, you want to take out this particular ministry, you know, out of the parastatal or whatever, it shows that you're supposed to ask yourself before you start bringing in people into this ministry, how is this ministry going to impact the country? Do you get what I'm saying? Because just like you said, if you've not answered the question, okay, why am I putting this here, right? Then that's why you would always wake up one morning and say, maybe this person is not doing well, let's take it out. That is what it is, because you've not really asked yourself. You just wake up one morning and you just wake up one morning and you just say, this thing will work, or let's put in this person there.
Let me react to this and also slide into my own newspaper. I'm reading from the Guardian newspaper. The first I will have to say is, it's appalling because I saw a video of some women in an office rejoicing because the minister, Kennedy Uju, that barrister, I feel like she's doing something good in whatever sector she is. There was a news I saw not too long ago where she promised to punish a rapist. And it was a very good one. The man raped about 2 minors and she came out. The woman has been everywhere. So I really do not understand why she was removed. According to the comment section on that particular post, Nigerians do not like who makes them work. Nigerians do not like when you're making them do the right thing.
That's why I
said
I
understand that nobody likes
you, and that's why I'm taking you out.
And it's painful. Minister of Education was removed.
Tahir Mamman, I was very shocked to see that one.
Well, maybe because we feel like, why would you say age and why can echo age should be
18 years?
But I feel like if you're removing people, there should be a good reason why you're removing people. You should not remove people based on
explained reason, at least. Maybe not a good reason, but an explained reason.
Not based on sentiment or whatever.
Let's just hope that the people that they've added now will probably bring the impact that is needed. Because it's looking like
hope we voted
Nigeria. Please take us through.
The Guardian newspaper says cautious optimism over Tinubu's reshuffled cabinet changes and the names of ministers that were removed and that were sworn into office. They have not been sworn in yet, but their names have been listed out. Away from that, NUC, NCDB, MB, others move to commercialize research and capital fight. Right under it, flood displaced 5 million Nigerians in 10 years. IMF tasked Nigeria's other African governments on fiscal reforms e-governance. The bottom corner says, allow PDP breathe Ologbodion tells A Atiku and Wiki. Diphtheria killed 1,901 persons in 17 months, says NCDC. The last but one story says NBS says 85.2% of households use estimated billion. The final story says federal government received 350,000 applicants, disbursed 10 billion in student loan. Okay. Nigeria, we hail deep. We've started again. We've already disbursed 10 billion naira for student loan to 350,000 naira. I said 1,000 naira. 350,000 applicants. Please show workings. Who applied? What school did they apply from? Who got the money? I'm not trying to mention names now.
No,
but
I think those are sort of confidential information. But
well,
I don't
the
understand.
list that they can tell us.
Okay, so what they are telling us right now, right into our faces, that they've disbursed 10 billion naira.
Did they not disburse palliative? A
How
lot of
many
people.
did they reach?
No, that's where the case is. A lot of people will say it got to us. Other people will say it didn't get to us. And it's so crazy that even the chairman of most of these local governments got the palliative but did not disburse to their communities.
The thing is,
well, maybe it's
the
looking like
is
this.
Everywhere.
It's looking this
everywhere.
Much because school fees have also been increased.
Yes,
in
like
almost
so
every
increased.
yes,
over
in almost
like
every
50, 60%.
billion, not even billion again.
So you can imagine
if
how
they
many
want to
students actually
got the
this.
money. About 350,000 students. How many students are in Nigeria?
We have more than that
Yeah,
now.
of course, I know we have more than that. But I'm saying if you want to tell us something, let's make more sense. Because it's as good as you say, okay, fuel is 1,200, let's switch to CNG.
You know how I see
and we
this?
all know how CNG, we all know disadvantages that come with CNG, right? So you're not saying, okay, because of fuel, let's do this. It's okay, let's just lie that 5 million. Maybe we would have said 5 million, not 10 billion naira.
Yeah.
A senator that I know posted something online or commented online. The person posted that in my ward, our chairman gave us this palliative. So I think the person, out of his selfish interest, because the comments reek of selfish interest, he said he should be very grateful that he even did what he did. This is a senator that I know, a city senator, maybe not in person, but this is a senator. So you should be very grateful that this person did what he did and he did not chop the money. Chop.
That's the case.
Our
in
government
most
should know
places.
So our 10 billion naira has gone to the pockets of more than 3, 4, 5, 6 politicians, and then peanuts has been disbursed to the students. Allegedly. God bless Nigeria.
We're very edgy as Nigerians now. So I think the people in administrative power should ensure that just to calm our nerves, don't just give us figures. Like you said, show us workings because we're going to come at you.
I agree.
Even though we know that these student loans are being disbursed and certain students are getting the money.
Yes.
But somewhere in our head, we know what has been going on in the past and we can put one or two. The Punch newspaper also has the whole cabinet thing. The major headline reads, private sector, opposition split as Tinubu reshuffles cabinet. OPS backs Tinubu as opposition. CSOs, Nigerians demand sacking of more underperforming ministers. President fires 5, appoints 7, reassigns 10 ministers as federal government merges and scraps ministries. All right, it says FEC okays $618 million loan for fighter jet ammunition. Canadian lady jailed 11 years for importing 35.20 kilogram of cannabis. Oyon Dam, Ogun communities reject Abiodu's relocation advisory. Makinde rally support for Ajayi, says election will shock APC. Ayedatiwa woos voters, declares PDP umbrella finally torn. Wow. Diaspora Nigerians get non-resident BVN platform December, says Cardoso. 12 states delay 30,000 minimum wage for teachers. Dangote refinery begins direct petrol sales to marketers. There are 2 stories I want to touch. I don't know how much time I have, but just very quickly. This one I saw on teachers made me quite edgy. As somebody who has stayed in the education line and we're even discussing education today. If in every sense of it, there's a bit of truth in this, I say that this is so uncalled for. It's so wicked, to really say the least. Because, we've been clamoring for minimum wage, and sometimes it looks like when this thing comes down through different ministries and everything, sometimes it looks like it's people in the education sector that get to suffer it.
Yeah.
Which is sad. As a student, I suffered ASU strike. And even though we just wanted to graduate and we're agitated and everything, but looking at it from the lenses of our lecturers and people who are teachers and all. I can actually feel their pain.
Yeah.
Do you know what it means to be a teacher? And then you're not getting the remuneration. We already know that the teaching profession is such that it's so underpaid,
lowly
both
paid.
for private
Yeah.
and public
Yeah.
sector.
Yeah.
And now we're saying that 12 states are delaying the bare minimum wage. Do you understand? 12 states, that is appalling. Why? I mean, it's really crazy, and I hope that it's probably just some fact that have not been put together, because the education sector should not suffer for this. The minimum wage is very low compared to what we wanted, but please, let it get to this one.
I like
And
the way
then
you're
the-
saying what we wanted, because I'm wondering if you were there.
Should
There,
we
or that's
remember
what
now?
you heard.
I mean, June, we had back and forth from 60 to 600,000 to how many thousands, but we eventually settled for 70. I don't know why NYSC people are not clamoring for this, because I saw one news again that NYSC were telling the coppers or something that they are still going to go back to the 70,000 stuff, even though, there was a time that they were saying that NYSC was going to be paying the 77,000. They came
yeah.
out to say, please, so people are not in that number yet. And then they are saying that they are working at it and all of that. And then Dangote Refinery, the last story I'll touch quickly, begins direct petrol sales to marketers. Just an update. We've heard before that they were selling to NNPCL directly,
Yeah.
and that's how they wanted
there's no
the
monopoly
line to
structure
be.
again.
They have
Yeah.
changed it now. And I guess it's because the private marketers have started importing.
Importing, yes.
The
yes.
import they did, was it not last week? It was, running into millions. So Dangote has seen that, let's not carry this bucket outside. Let us
It's
cook
not
sell.
even a Dangote thing, it's the government. Because, I was telling you guys that time, I don't see a
So
reason
what
why-
changed?
To be honest, I don't
If
know.
it's
A lot
Dangote
of things
thing,
would have
what
changed,
actually
but
changed
we
that
don't
made
get the
him-
information.
Sorry,
We don't get
Exactly.
the information.
There's a story that I was expecting to be on a headline. It's
What's
the
that?
story of Oyo State being divided into two. So
I
now
think it's
I
the,
saw a deal.
is it Oyo Ondo
No,
State?
it's
Oyo,
Oyo
okay,
Dam.
Oyo.
You spoke
You
about
spoke
the
about
Oyo Dam.
So I saw the video yesterday in Senate where Oyo State will now be split into
Oyo,
two.
Oyo
There'll be
State
Oyo
and Ibadan
yeah, there'll be
State.
Ibadan State, Ibadan capital, Oyo State, Oyo
It's probably going to
capital.
be in the headlines
So
tomorrow.
we have
but-
37 governors in Nigeria. It is
and more to come.
appalling.
And more to come.
What
But let us
are
go
we
through the New York
doing?
Times so that we can move forward in life.
I'm so tired of this country, to be honest. All
Please don't be tired. You'll be here for a long time.
You and Hope. Let's not start on that foot this morning, please, because I'm so pissed. It's just what Wike posted on what was trending yesterday, or what Wike said. So you and Hope. Let's not go there. All right, so the New York Times newspaper, but the right side of the newspaper, we have a scandal plug career nears a decisive moment. Trump has been accused of wrongdoing at scale unseen at presidential level. By the left side of the newspaper, swift attack offer Hamas a lengthy tool. Next to that, abortion rise even in states with rigid bans. Beneath that, once a pal of Jaga and now a friend of Alito. Next to that, Harris, crime fighter by day, courted high society at night. Bottom of the newspaper, which is the last headline on the newspaper, has a reminder you can't light up. We will now stay late all the time. So the headline I want to quickly touch on, there are actually two, but because there's not enough time, I'll just stretch on it a bit. So Harris says, the first one I want to talk on is Harris, crime fighter by day, courted high society at night. So what this headline is saying is just more on just talking, I think just giving credit on what, Harris has been doing over time. The fact that, in the morning she's during when she started her career, during in the 90s, in the 1990s, she used to be like a very tough prosecutor. She fights anything that has to do on criminal cases now. She takes care of it. Then at night, she's, with the charity organizations ensuring that people that are in need of help
The
and
President
assisted.
America needs.
And they tell you.
A Trumparian would not agree. A Trumparian would not agree.
The likes of Lucci, right?
Come
Then
here,
one other
fight.
thing I want to talk on is this one here that talks about abortion, which says abortion rises even in states with rigid bans. So you know that I think there's a bit of flexibility in some states in the United States about abortion and all of that. But it's also in some, I think about 13 states, right? In the United States, they have this rigid bans on abortion. But still, yeah, there's still rise of abortion and all of
Because
that.
there's going
which
to
makes
be a
them
lot of
wonder.
illegal doctors that are willing to
Do
it.
So
I mean, it's a beautiful way to, end this conversation and end the headlines across the globe. We would go on a break right now, and we'll be back with our main topic for discussion. Stay with us. And welcome back to Ways Breakfast. Today we dive into a very important topic, which is education and its role in empowering women. It's no secret that education is a powerful tool for personal and societal transformation. However, when we look at it from a gender lens, especially in societies where gender inequality exists, education becomes more than just a tool. It becomes a lifeline for women. Globally, access to education has proven to elevate women's status in multiple areas. For example, it improves their economic opportunities, enhances their political and social participation, and ensures that they make informed decisions about their health, family, and community. Yet, in many parts of the world, including regions within Nigeria, girls and women still face, significant barriers to education, whether it's cultural norms, early marriage, or even economic limitations. Today, we'll explore why educating women is not just an individual achievement, but a societal benefit. We'll examine how education can, impact us and help the community grow. So I'm going to start the conversation by unpacking these ideas and see how education has reshaped the lives of women around the world and closer to home. I'm going to share a personal story, and it's going to be about my foundation, as always. The fact that we are encouraging girls to go to school. Women are always at the end of, or at the receiving end of, crime rates, security issues, abortion, like you mentioned, and so many cases like that. Last week, I think, no, that was, when did we celebrate the International Day of the Girl Child?
Friday.
It was
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago,
yeah.
yes, God bless you. So 2 weeks ago, the foundation helped 5 girls continue school. That's the little way that we can do it. So how do we continue, knowing fully well that a lot of these girls go into prostitution, they fall under the trap of, rape and so many cases like that. But these are the key barriers that I have recognized, and that's why I'm helping girls, to continue school and see the impact of education in their life. But I'll first ask Oluchi before I ask God's Beauty.
Please, why ask me first?
I need to ask you first.
Education
No, the fact that you are a guidance and counseling, first class degree holder,
You can say that.
we got to ask you, what are the key barriers that you have, noticed that have, impacted or sort of restricted women from, thriving in education and life in general?
Key barriers, very, very interesting way to start the conversation. And I'll just repeat the things that everybody can relate to. Key barriers that really hinders or not make us progress when it comes to empowering women with education is stereotypes, is mindsets, is traditional beliefs that have lingered for long. It's so amazing how that even people that are educated, people that you expect to be exposed, can still fall trap into certain ideologies or idiosyncrasies that are so old, and you're wondering that I thought you have a PhD. I thought you went to school.
I thought you were an adult.
In fact, adult is a different one now, because everybody can be adult. Everybody can come adult. But you're literally wearing a tie and a suit and you're thinking like this. It's so appalling. So I think the first thing, if you want to change anything in this world, your first is going to start with the mind. And of course, we want to empower women to be. We know that education is a very great tool to empower women.
Yes.
Women are, I don't know if we're the largest in the population.
Yes, we are.
Right? Across the world,
Yes.
isn't it? So imagine the people that are holding maybe 70 or 60% and you do not pay attention to them. What is that benefit that you want to get? So I think that the first thing that we need to start challenging, start addressing, is the idiosyncrasies that some people have. So it starts with the home. Right? It starts with the home.
family.
It starts with, of course, we know that, it's not as it used to be before. Before, we hear people say that, I cannot send my girl child to school. I'd rather send the boys, the girls to, do something informal, probably learn a trade or something else. And I also think, I don't want to divert a bit, but, education should not be limited to just the formal education. There's also the informal part of it.
Yes.
And we see how people are making waves with the informal kind of learning. People are learning skills, even though they have some degrees to back it up, but they're doing so great as well. So education is basically informing people to be equipped, literally challenge, things that are going wrong in the society, bring innovative solutions to things.
Yes.
I mean, if you're a good fashion designer, you're already bringing innovative ideas to help the community and help people. So we need to start challenging norms and, break out. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while, because something that has been shown for ages, these same people that that have these ideas, they pass it on to their children. You know that when people say that you are exactly what gave birth to you.
Yes.
You are like your mother, you're like your father. Even as we're young people like this, we have to deliberately break down some ideologies that we grew up with. Why? Because the way psychology works is you eventually take up the trainings that your parents gave you. Do you understand?
Yes.
The society you grew up in.
Unconsciously.
It just
Yes.
rubs off on you. That's why people used to say that if you see a young child that grows up in an abusive home, you have to be very careful because that guy has a tendency to also abuse his wife. Also, even though he was not, in support of it. So we need to really start challenging norms. And when we say this, I want it to be very personal. You as a person, how do you really appreciate education for women? You as a woman yourself, how do you appreciate it for yourself? Because of course, we want the world to appreciate us. We want the world to pay attention to us. But the change starts with you at first. I'm in my counseling mode. Thank you very much.
So, Godwin, do you agree with her, or you like to share something?
I do. And
else?
I like the fact that she spoke about the informal education now, because, I mean, under the formal education, we already know that, right? But again, there are people like, before we came back from the group and break, we're talking about the whole thing of it's wiki and all. There's so many people that don't have the money to, go and have this formal education. So informal education would also help. You getting a skill. And again, depending on the kind of skill, because we have to work with what's going on. I mean, the world is evolving, right? So I am not saying that it's not good to be a caterer. I'm not saying you should not go to culinary school and all of that. I'm also saying that expose yourself to tech, expose yourself to what's really going on, what is trending right now. Do you get what I'm saying? So if you're able to impact yourself informally, it will also help. Because you spoke about the fact that, you're asking somebody, okay, how can somebody with such a degree, with, high profile like you're having such a mentality? It's because those kind of person have this kind of mentality because they are literally not exposed. So they are just in the four walls of school. School will also help you with the normal, getting a job, getting a good career and all of that, starting and your bio, all of those things, good, right? But again, when you now get to the outside world, it will also expose you also. You would, be equipped and learn and all of that, right? Then coming back to probably how to change mentality and all of that, just like you said, it starts from the family. It's just like, when they say charity begins at home. Because if you say it's the society, of course society has a role to play, but guess what? Every other person that you find in the society came from a home. So imagine that everybody has been taught properly on how to, go through their business and all of that. Trust me, if everybody is coming out good, right, in the society will also be better. But if I've trained my children to be well, just like Mira would always say, and you train your child to be one kind, you will see in, exactly. So it just comes back to the family. If the basic unit, to the society has been taken care of, trust me, society would also be okay. Then, teenager or the child themselves, or the woman or lady themselves will be okay as well.
I like how both of you have emphasized on, the key barriers. You have also spoken about formal and informal education. But a lot of cases, you see that most people say you just went through the four walls of school. Outside will teach you what life really means. But I think Mira is more experienced about the outside life, because you're always talking about what I want to do, what I want to do. So you need to first enlighten us about the differences between formal and informal education, and what the impact is, like why formal education, why informal education.
Okay, first I'd like to start with the professional landscape has changed. Enough of being, I want to be a lawyer. Lawyers are now posting on status. If you need a legal somebody, please hire me. It is that bad. Excuse me.
You want to even be a lawyer in a lawless country?
That's another valid point.
I don't agree that
you will go
the
to
country.
Did you mention any country? That's where you have a problem.
Allow Bomo to
She's being a politician with her response right now.
You go to this is Marriott side at Ikeja. I'm trying to I think GRA side of the Ikeja. You'll be seeing lawyers on the street saying, I can defend you in court. There's an high court there. You'll be seeing lawyers on the street saying, I can defend you in court. This is meant to be a reputable profession. But now, seeing them all around, go to law school here at VI. 1,001 people are there. They will leave and go to one law firm. To do what? To making research for lawyers? To be scanning through 1999 case? Is that what they intend to be? The professional landscape has changed. And so, formal education is a thing. Informal education is also a thing. The issue we had with people going to universities, non-polytechnics, because they teach them only the theoretical aspect. I studied English and education, where we were taught tree diagramming for English
You always say
sentence.
this.
That
It's
thing pains me a lot because a lot of us carried the cost. They always make us feel the cost. Or let me not say they make us feel the cost. More like we did not understand the cost. And I am here. I've left school for a couple years now. I've not had any encounter with tree diagramming.
diagram.
I did teach in practice when I was in uni 2 times. I didn't teach the students tree diagramming. My colleagues, my classmates from uni that are teaching, none of them have come to the group chat before to say, please, let's analyze this sentence together. The boys call me DSPC.
What of those that went into education line and they became teachers
Oh,
or
yes.
lecturers?
When you go for a master's, you will still do it there. That's the annoying
But
thing.
is it
You do
used outside in the real
But
world?
it is not used in the outside real world. So now, it is only fair that when you are getting a formal education, try to get
An informal education as well.
We have a lot of women in the world, but we are underrepresented. In the political space, we don't have more females. In the spiritual world, church pastors, we don't have more females. Even in leadership positions, we do not have more females. But when you go to church, when we are, like in my church, every Sunday, we're like 800 members. So out of 800, a female space, okay, we females sit separately from the males. The female space, there's like plenty females, and we have children church separately. So there are a lot of females. The men are just like maybe the first 3 rows or first 4 rows. And yet in churches, all of the men are the leaders. Youth leader, men. Youth pastor, men. This, men. It is not funny. I watched a summit on Sunday, Heart Summit 2024, and I'll always talk about it. A woman said she is one of the few females in the cybersecurity space. And she said when she started her career, each time she's speaking with a client and a client finds out that she's a female, she automatically loses that job because she's a female playing in a cybersecurity space.
So what does
They
that
believe
make
that
her? I'm
the
wondering.
mindset
I'm trying to put it together.
She's
What does
definitely
that
talking
make
to
her?
somebody that is supposed to be knowledgeable.
Exactly. She said most of our clients were not even Nigerians. They were international clients.
So you can see it's not an African thing.
It's not African thing. It's a global issue. And she said something, and I love that word so much. She said she, as a person, hires more females at the workplace because of this reason.
She's trying to break that.
Not even that. She said, for a man, when you hire him, he's thinking of the salary and he's thinking of how many people the salary can cater. And he's also looking out for, okay, what if I get a better job that pays me more? So the focus of the job is my bukata, like they say in Yoruba, my bills. For a female is looking out for how to grow her career. And I was like, oh, wow. So which means in the professional landscape, a female's attention, yes, we all like money. Let's not act like my focus is also not on the money. But we like to focus on our career. What is our Instagram page looking like? What is our LinkedIn page looking like? But a guy do not really care about what their LinkedIn page looks like because, to be honest, the career space, the professional career space is not for men. Which is the truth. So, in as much as we have more
Do you know why I
females-
think it looks like that?
Let me hold your thoughts
It's even
there.
very shaky in my
Let me
head.
hold that thought there. We'll go on a break right now, and when we come back, we're going to allow everybody land because these are women on this table, and they really want to land their points. Yes, we go on a break right now, and we'll be back shortly. Stay with us.
Imagine the world where the voices of the youth finally get the spotlight they deserve.
Welcome to Ways Breakfast, the groundbreaking show where young minds unite together to tackle issues that truly matter.
We're flipping the script on traditional morning talk shows, and this is your chance to hear the youth speak out.
We're not just skimming headlines, we're diving deep into the heart of topics that impact us all.
From politics to governance, tech innovations, mental health, and trendy social issues.
We don't just discuss, we ignite conversations that inspire change and spark action.
Join us every morning for fresh, young, and vibrant perspectives.
That empowers the next generation to make a difference.
Start your day right with Ways Breakfast, because when the youth speak, the world listens. Ways Breakfast, weekdays at 8 a.m. live on Upgrade TV.
Looking to take your business to the next level through partnerships? Then join us every Thursday at 10 a.m. for Partner Up. Whether you're an entrepreneur, marketing, sales, or partnership professional, Partner Up is here to give you the tools you need to succeed. From in-depth interviews with industry experts to real-world case studies of successful partnership strategies that drive innovation and business growth. We dive deep into what it takes to form successful partnerships. Thursdays, 10 a.m. Don't miss Partner Up.
Welcome back again. And, we have said so many things about, why we should educate women, why we should involve women in education, their careers, enlighten women to also do more. But before we went on a break, we were talking about politics, how, like, women participation in politics, women participation in, even in
different
careers that, you find men naturally. And you mentioned church. So I want to ask you, like, if anyone could give me like a specific answer, I would really love that. Why are there cases that even in the religious, environment, women are still underrepresented? You see in so many cases, you see Yajo, you see this one, you see women leader. They're always relegating women to women leader. They're always talking about, oh, why are you an engineer? That's weird.
Yes,
Oh, so many things like that.
Engineer Mrs. That's something that I don't understand. Did you put engineer Mr. when you're referring to a man?
When you're a female doctor, they automatically call you nurse. I mean, my sister struggle a lot with that.
So I want to know.
She wants you to call her doctor that she is and not a nurse.
I want to know, why is this a norm? You spoke about stereotypes and the fact that it's about the mind. But even with females, I can easily, when you tell me that you're in the engineering space, I can tell you, oh, that's what you are doing. So why do you think that humans, or women and men in general, do not appreciate or support women going into spaces that have over the years been unusual for them to get into?
It's because we're growing by the age, we're not growing in our brain. We're not growing mentally. We're just growing. We are just growing. We're not growing mentally. It is funny how in 2024, you will still find a landlord say, I don't rent my house to single ladies. You will still find
I don't know why they've not arrested such landlords in this of my landlord.
It is funny where you meet a female doctor and you automatically feel she's a nurse because doctors are meant to be male. You meet a contractor. You just feel like she's not meant to be a contractor. She's not meant to be she's not meant to be a constructing engineer. Why? Let's accept females in different sectors of the world. As a cybersecurity expert, as a tech bro, a Texas, let's accept them. We are capable to do more than what the men can do. Yeah, so what the woman can do better. It sounds vague, but the truth is we females can do better because of the...
Do you think that has not outgrown its stage?
The reason why it's still like that is because we are under this pressure that as a female, I gas show, I gas represent my career, I gas do work, I gas they think of when to get married.
Tendency to always overperform.
I want to overperform,
which is a very stressful
always
thing.
Overdo. I mean, female bosses want to they want to always press your neck, ensure that you're not seeing them as a weakling. Because
or even female supervisors, anyone that is just ahead.
They just unconsciously want to
But can we talk about the medical impact of, the fact that, sometimes the natural phenomenon of women sometimes also affects their, their involvement in education or career, because you see cases that when a woman is pregnant, she's about to give birth, she needs a break, and sometimes employers don't want to employ somebody that's going to go off for 2-3 months because now the law, implies you to pay that person even while the person is off. So these are some reasons why some people will say, oh, that's why I don't want women. In cases for I think we mentioned menopause, we have mentioned mental health, I've mentioned so many things, and that's the reason why when you are female they're already saying, I mean, you're already going through so much, so why do you want to be anything more? So what advice or what other enlightenment would you give to people who have this idea that women should just sit and relegate themselves to the home just because they're already going through so much hormonal changes?
The advice will come from two sides. Firstly, the women themselves need to advise themselves and let them know that even though I might not be biologically structured like a man and I might have different things happening to me in my life right now, and that's a man is not having, I must still know that if I set my mind to do and achieve something, I can equally do it. And then on the other side, which will include men and every other gender. These days we have a low number, so let us classify the men and the shame. They also need to recognize that, yes, you have to, I think men and the other gender, whatever, they have to give grace to women. And, mention something about overperforming. I'm going to deviate from your question a bit, but I'd like to address that as well. We don't have to overperform. And we should stop trying to prove so much to people that we can do these things.
That's the problem.
We should just do it. She mentioned something that what a man can do, a woman can do better. At this point,
there's no need for that.
I'm not about doing better. I'm not about
I'm just going to do my job.
The very best. I'd rather rephrase that as what a man can do, a woman can do as well, and maybe even better. Do you understand? There's room for everybody to grow together. There's equity, and there's no point trying to prove, because I think that the extreme that some women have gotten to is what leads them to that overperforming. There's the extreme of this industry. Now men, they dominate. Me, it's my turn to shine. Do you know all those kind of things will make you now pressure yourself?
You start doing things.
You become a shadow of yourself, because your true personality, your true femininity, that a woman is supposed to be soft and calm. You just switch it because you are trying to be hard. Instead of it to address people the way a normal calm woman would, you want to be hard, so that you will not look down.
So that they will tell you that she's disciplined.
It is not necessary at all. You can do your job and do it greatly well. Do you understand? So I know that this might sound like you are saying this because you have not been probably facing a situation. Have I been? I don't know. I can't think of any right now. I'm still cuckoo going, so who knows? Any man that comes my way, I will show you one or two. But the point is, let's try to relax on that overperforming. And thank God, we're saying this and we're saying, the stereotypes and all, but things are getting better. Things are actually getting better across all spheres. In technology. I mean, she even mentioned how many women empowerment programs have we had this year?
More
are coming up.
Big women.
I was telling one of my friends recently, I said that when I go for events and I see top achievers that are men, and I see top achievers that are women too, there's this bit of intimidation I feel when it comes to the women angle. When I even walk past them, there's this kind of power they exude that is different from the men. I don't know, maybe because of the shapapa and the ego, this thing that we put as women. But women are also making waves across media, tech, government. At least that one can be slow paced, but we're getting there. So as a woman, I'm even advising myself, don't fall into that trap of overperforming. To forget that proverb that what a woman can do better. You die before your time, and I don't want you to. Please just focus on doing equally good as well, and maybe better in some cases.
Slowly, before Gosby contribute about the hormonal thing, we females were faced with a lot of hormonal thing. I mean, last night on our primetime show, we talked about menopause, and I was just thinking about my life all over again. When you're approaching the menopause age, there's midnight heat, there is
midnight heat.
What's
that one? Like, I go there hot for that.
You will be hot.
There's so many things. There's headaches
at night.
There's headaches.
You'll be cranky. There'll be so much. Even your libido will come down.
There's still cramps.
And
but there's no blood anymore.
There's no blood anymore. But don't think blood is better. You sort with pineapples and you'll be fine. Yeah.
Information.
And you'll be fine. Information.
Who's taking notes? Pineapples.
Yeah, it helps.
Okay.
Then for you to be sweating even inside AC, for you to be cranky, you cannot explain why you're cranky. This minute you're fine, the next minute you're angry. Even your libido, you don't have control of it anymore.
In this
And
case,
it's funny
mindfulness will not work.
Mindfulness will not work because you don't have a control of it. In a month, we ladies barely have a week to ourselves. It's not there's pre-period, there's luteal phase, there's period itself, there's ovulation. So you are thinking of hormonal imbalance will come and join again. And when you do not see the period, you are worried.
Something must have happened.
So please, the fact that we are going through all of this, just help me win in my career, please. That's the only thing you can help me win.
I think we should do a public plea.
What I would say is, of all these things that she's mentioned now, right? Where would start solving, what would be like solution ground for all of these things is if the men too are aware of this kind of things, right, that the women are going through. That's number one. If men understand that, okay, this is how, you know, the woman's body looks like, this is what happens when they are at this stage of their life and all of that. Now, I also have an issue with, I understand that we are passing through a whole lot of these things, right? But having to now put it on people's faces that we are passing through that's where I have an issue with.
You are allowed to express your emotion.
No, there are two different things. Okay. There's a different thing. It's a different thing where you are trying to explain something and you are given an excuse because of you're a woman. Do you understand? I remember, I'm trying to remember his name now. There's this show I was watching and he was there and he mentioned that, right? So he said he doesn't have an issue with employing women. But the fact that you will not say, oh, you're not doing this thing because of you are a woman, you're feeling this kind of way. There are ways to present it.
That's another angle.
Yeah, there are ways to present it. True. We understand that this is what women face. We understand that this is how your body biologically looks like and all. But again, don't make it look like, and don't bring it as an excuse.
Overplay that card.
I feel like that's what women do actually.
But is that not what they're doing with mental health now? Any small thing, my mental health is not...
That's why we are a bit restructuring it, right? I feel like it's a bit restructured now.
I agree with the fact that we females at times, when we give us a hand, we extend it to armpit. It's normal.
I'm
sorry, but
I need to tell you people that Shola has the best quote you ever heard. But tell me, in different languages, she'll tell you in Yoruba, in Hausa, in English, in
but
Igbo.
it's just normal. It's actually not easy to be going through a period. It is not easy to have a human being in you. It is not easy to, you are breathing for yourself, you are breathing for a human being. You can wake up in the middle of the night, your back hurts. So the male folks need to please appreciate. Don't say it's just pregnancy. There's something called PSSD. This
PTSD.
Not PTSD, post-childbirth.
Okay.
Yes. So that one on its own is another thing.
There's even still PCOS. There's so many things.
There's a lot of things that women deal with.
Let's deviate a bit. I'm so sorry to cut your
Go
thoughts.
ahead.
Let's deviate a bit into the government. We spoke about how education, 10 billion naira just went into education. How are they ensuring that in that space, especially in rural areas where even university, I think there are certain universities that might be the only university in the entire state. No, there might be many polytechnics, but there are some states that is just one university. Do these loans get to these states? And when it does, how do they ensure that women, especially in the northern areas where women are not really encouraged to go to school, how do they ensure that women actually get education in this case? Does anyone know? I want to know.
It starts from the home. You as a father ensure that your child is educated. If you have just one female child.
No, I'm talking about the government now. What are government and policymakers going to do
that's
about
the thing.
this?
Do we have, as citizens, God bless you. I like
that's why I feel like you should start
talking
from
about hope. You came to this. I love this.
It's still hope, my sister. But how much of that I'm tilting towards our own? You cannot, my friend tell me, the one you cannot control, don't go towards it.
Yeah.
The one you can control in your purview, work at it. I can't control what the government is going to do. I don't know their next policy.
That's it.
But I know in my home, I can ensure that the 2 girls I have will go to the best of schools.
Because just to add to that, look at what we have in the north. They have a different law. Everybody knows that, the penal code, right? Why here we are talking about the criminal law, right? Now, the penal code, there are a lot of things that are quite different from what is in the criminal law. Exactly. So it's not like we don't have a say on these things. So whoever that is supposed to change is are people that are already in authority.
Yes.
That's why I'm asking, like, what do you think that they should do better? I mean, they are very aware that they said there's 20 million out of school children, and that's going to bring me to my next question. 20 million out of school children, most of it, if you check statistics, most of it fell on the northern side.
Yeah.
Do you understand? On the northern side, there are 20 million, there are part of 20 million out of school children. If you look at it, majority are going to be girls.
Yes.
Do you understand? So there's a law, as you said, the penal code.
Yeah.
There's a governor that is overseeing this state, knowing fully well that there's this statistics of girls out of school in my state. What do you think that governor should do? Because obviously he knows that this is a problem, but maybe he does not know the solution, or he does not know how to change it.
In the north, there are some sensitive conversations, especially about things in the north.
The northern area looks like it's a different part of Nigeria.
Because it is, actually.
I just
For them to
feel
be having a
like there are
different law, I
some
don't know
things
what
that
that
should be
is.
scrapped in the north. Even the
Early
penal
marriage.
code, the Sharia law. I don't want to say it, but I feel
No, I
like there's
can't
some
say that they
things-
should scrap their law, whatever works for them.
should be
But I
abrogated.
think that there should be things that should evolve over time.
Do you know why I feel like it should be scrapped?
Tell me.
In the southwest here, we believe that as a girl or as a boy, you should go to school till like secondary school. You will now decide, okay, I want to learn welding.
to further.
I want to go to school. I want to be a tailor. So, but there's this unconscious thing that we owe you education. Even if it's public secondary school, we can send it, but we owe you up to Form 5. Yes.
And then you figure out your life.
And then you
from
figure out your life. So if the northerners can have that thing, okay, even if not till secondary, don't worry, when you come back from school, they pursue cow. You first go to this school and come back. Even if it's still secondary school, by then we would have been able to think about something. Then even if you, from there, you do not go to uni, you do not go to polytechnic, I feel like your exposure will be a little bit better. And in 2024 that we are, people that did not go to school when they had the time to go to school, they are now going back to schools. You see adults now going back to open universities.
Yeah.
Going to part-time trainings. Even grown-up adults, 40, 50, they are still going to university to be doing one part-time course, college. So people want to be certified. You will
even
meet
like
more
diplomas.
people. You will meet, you'll be enlightened. So either you are a northerner, you're a westerner, you're a southerner. Try as much as possible to educate your child, be it female or male. But when it's a female, ensure that the priority is not to make her have a first period and make her get married. Try to send her to school.
The truth is, to answer your
enlighten
question, in a country that we, like the country that we are in, right? People that are even, elected or, put into this governorship, whatever, the truth is they have godfathers. They have people that actually put them there. So do you want to now start speaking against those people? Don't forget that this penal code, the Sharia law, did not just start today. It has been there right from existence.
But
you
I
get?
believe that there are
So-
conversations that can be thrown out there without necessarily being too official. Because if you are my godfather, we can be in the same space. Most of the time, our conversations behind the scenes are maybe not as strict as what we are having
Let me
here.
not say this. There's something my dad used to say. My dad would say, people would not fight against something if they are like not benefiting from it. Now you're talking about they speaking to their godfather and all of that. If they're not benefiting from it, then that's why they will leave it the way it is. But it's when they're benefiting from it. Sorry, when they're benefiting from it, they will leave it the way it is. But when they are not, that's when they want to talk about it. So the fact that it is still the way it is, they're benefiting from it.
I feel like our religion should be different from our constitution. Our constitution should be separate. Our religion should be separate. We
Of
should not say
course.
because
But this is Nigeria.
a spirit of God or somebody of God said this, we should not let it.
So in a lot of cases now, you still see that religion still plays a part in relegating women to the back end.
That's why she's saying that we should put that separate.
We
I was
should
even
put
thinking
that
that
part.
if at all our suggestion is going to be heard by the government,
It will
is that
be heard.
it will be heard, right? Thank you. She's now the hopeful.
The hopeful.
one. I'm still hopeful, please.
Hopeful.
But I think that if they want to address some of all this, out of school children stuff that we have, it will be from communities, and maybe because the West. It's easy to start a foundation in the West. You get sponsors, you get people that, I love what you're doing, and it blows. What if we can have some of these people travel down?
They
That's
are.
what she's
There are a
saying.
lot of.
Do we have
I
more
want
of
to
them
quickly
do that? Like maybe, let's now
because
say
of
that the North,
security, safety, and all of that stuff. There are fewer. Organizations that want to do that. And I wanted to also mention about the He for She campaigns. There's so many organizations that have brought this whole sending women and girls to school to limelight to try to enlighten men about the need for women. But in most cases, it's just like seminar, and they invite top people to the gathering. These top people listen to what they want to say, what you have to say, and then they go back home. That's it. It doesn't get to the rural areas where probably
Needs
this
to be worked
conversation
on.
is not even being heard, or one person
is
has
ignoring it.
the internet phone amongst the whole community, and then this person will not share the news to say that, okay, oh, this is what I'm hearing now, and I think these are the things that we need to do. So I just feel like, organizations who have now taken this as their course of, action or course of impact should drive more impact to the
Towards
rural
that
areas
area.
where most of the time traditional media is what sells, instead of the whole transformative led media that we
social
now, the
media.
whole YouTube. They need to take it to the traditional level, talk to chiefs, talk to kings and all of that stuff. But before we end today's conversation, I would like everybody to, say something to the women, say something to the men, say something to someone who is somehow watching, and especially our girls who are now in Ilogbo. They promise that they are going to be watching every time. So what are you going to tell them?
So the females out there, let me start from the older females. In any position of authority you find yourself, ensure you're not overplaying your role and you're not underplaying your role. It does not make sense when we have female politicians embezzling money that male politicians will embezzle. So whatever role you find yourself as a female leader, please ensure that you do not disappoint the woman sisterhood. I know there's nothing like that, but ensure that you do not disappoint the sisterhood.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry, just 1 more second. And to the females, forget the fact that you grow up to become a prostitute. You will grow up to become exactly who you dream and wish to become. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you very much. I think she spoke for all of us already.
Yeah.
We would come your way again tomorrow. We're going to be talking about finances. Is that tomorrow? Tech, finance. Climate change. So come and learn. Don't miss tomorrow. We come your way again on Friday tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?